Baking soda for health. Improve muscle performance, support digestion, and understand risks. Imagine this, something sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet right now. The same white powder you use to scrub stubborn stains could also calm your burning stomach, strengthen your tired muscles, and even give you back the energy you thought was gone forever. Sounds unbelievable, right? But seniors everywhere are whispering about this so-called miracle, baking soda water. The real question is it healing your body or silently harming it? As we age past 60, the body doesn't play fair. Muscles that once carried you through long walks now ache after climbing a single flight of stairs. Digestion slows, turning a simple dinner into a sleepless night of acid reflux. And the pile of prescriptions on your nightstand? They often bring as many side effects as solutions. You're left stuck between two worlds, struggling with daily discomfort, yet afraid of trying new remedies because, let's face it, seniors know one wrong step can land you in the ER. So when a cheap, everyday ingredient like baking soda water claims it can fight fatigue, ease digestion, and restore balance, it feels like hope. But here's the hidden danger. Used the wrong way, this so-called miracle could raise your blood pressure, disturb your heart rhythm, or overload your kidneys. And no one is talking about that. The truth is, baking soda isn't just a cleaner. It's sodium bicarbonate, a powerful alkaline compound that changes how your body handles acid. In the right amount, it can buffer the acid in your stomach, soothe heartburn in minutes, and even delay muscle fatigue so you can move with more freedom. But here's the twist. After 60, your body is more fragile. What helps one person could harm another. Today, we're going to reveal the safe way seniors can explore baking soda water, the exact red flags to watch for, and why one wrong sip could turn this kitchen remedy into a silent threat. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know whether baking soda water is your ally or your enemy. What really happens in your body? Think back to a time you overexerted yourself, maybe carrying groceries or climbing a few flights of stairs. That heavy burn in your legs was not just tiredness. When muscles work hard, they make energy quickly, and that process leaves behind extra acid inside and around the muscle cells. As those hydrogen ions build up, nerves send a message of heat and heaviness. That is the burn you feel. For decades, athletes searched for ways to ease that feeling and last a little longer. One of the simplest helpers turned out to be sitting in plain sight in the kitchen cupboard, the familiar yellow box of baking soda. Dissolved in water, sodium bicarbonate acts like a buffer in your bloodstream. Picture a gentle sponge that mops up some of the excess acid so your muscles do not have to shoulder the full load quite as soon. It does not make you superhuman. It does not erase effort. But it can delay that burning edge and help you push through a little more, whether that means finishing your walk, staying comfortable while you garden, or carrying laundry upstairs without quite as many pauses. This is not a trick. It is chemistry lending you a hand. But your body is careful with its own chemistry too. Your blood pH sits in a narrow window, about 7.35 to 7.45. Push that window too far and you invite trouble, from confusion and tremors to nausea and a heart rhythm that misbehaves. So while baking soda water can help in the right moment, it is not something to gulp down every day. We will come back to those guardrails in a moment. First, let us visit another battlefield where this simple remedy can feel almost magical. Your stomach, especially in the dark hours of night, when a long, slow burn can steal your sleep and your peace. Picture this. It is 1 in the morning. You are asleep at last when a fire rises in your chest and wakes you fully. You sit up, cough, and wait for the burn to settle. That is acid reflux. Millions of older adults know this feeling. It robs you of rest, makes you wary of certain foods, and leaves a bitter taste behind. Here is where baking soda water can feel like a kind friend. A small dose, say half a level teaspoon stirred into a tall glass of cool water, sipped slowly, often quiets the burn. That is chemistry at work again. Sodium bicarbonate meets stomach acid, and the reaction turns some of that acid into carbon dioxide gas and water. You might belch a little. The pressure eases. The heat fades. For someone who has been suffering in silence, that relief can feel like a revelation. But your stomach acid is not your enemy. It is your first shield against harmful bacteria in food and water. It helps your body absorb nutrients like calcium, iron, and vitamin B12. If you dampen it too often with baking soda water, you may chip away at that protection. Over time, it can mean weaker bones, iron deficiency, or more frequent stomach infections. So use it for the occasional flare, and be grateful when it helps. Do not turn it into a nightly ritual. There are other smart ways to protect your sleep and your esophagus. We will come to those long-term habits soon. For now, hold this simple truth. Baking soda water can put out a small fire. It should not be the only fire plan you rely on. Muscles, energy, and performance. Now, step into the shoes of someone who loves to stay active. Meet Mr. Davis, 68, a proud grandfather who keeps his yard in shape and his roses in bloom. He loves the work, but after an hour his legs ache and his energy dips. A neighbor, a retired marathon runner, mentions a trick from his racing days. A small amount of baking soda water before hard work can blunt the burn. Curious, Mr. Davis tries it on a quiet Saturday. He stirs half a teaspoon into a glass of water, waits an hour, and starts the mower. He pays attention to his breathing, to his legs, to his pace. The usual burn shows up later than he expects. He finds he can finish the yard in one loop, rather than splitting it across 2 days. For him, that is not about winning a race. It is about staying independent and finding joy in the work. This is the same buffer effect we talked about earlier. By soaking up some acid in the blood outside the muscles, sodium bicarbonate lets the muscles keep contracting a little longer before fatigue sets in. Athletes sometimes call this soda loading. But here is the honest part. The doses athletes use are often higher than what is safe or comfortable for older adults. High doses can upset the stomach, raise blood pressure because of the sodium, or stress the heart. If you are over 60, tiny amounts used rarely may make a difference you can feel. Make it a habit, and the risks begin to outweigh the benefits. Mr. Davis keeps his experiment gentle. He tries it only on days when he has time to rest after, he stays hydrated, and he checks in with his doctor to be sure it makes sense with his medicines. That is the balance. A little science, a lot of self-awareness, and respect for the body that carries you through your days. The hidden dangers no one talks about. Now comes the shadow side. The part that matters even more as we age. The first concern is sodium. 1 teaspoon of baking soda holds more than 1,200 milligrams of sodium. For many older adults who are trying to stay under about 1,500 milligrams a day, that single teaspoon is already past the halfway mark. Extra sodium can push blood pressure up, strain the heart, and pull fluid into the legs and ankles. The second concern is alkalosis. That is when the blood becomes too alkaline. It may sound mild, but it is not. It can bring confusion, tremors, nausea, lightheadedness, or an irregular heartbeat. It can sharpen the risks from other conditions, especially if your kidneys or heart are already working hard. Third comes the medication trap. Many older adults take water pills for blood pressure, medicines to steady heart rhythm, or drugs that depend on stomach acid to be absorbed. Baking soda water can change how these medicines work. It can make some less effective, and it can make others more potent and risky. That is not the kind of surprise you want. I remember John, 70, who began taking baking soda water every morning because a friend said it would help his digestion. At first, he felt fine. By the 3rd week, he had bouts of dizziness and growing shortness of breath. His shoes felt tight by evening. His daughter drove him to the emergency department. His tests showed a sky-high sodium load and a blood chemistry tilted out of balance. He recovered, but the lesson stayed with him. Even simple remedies carry weight. Respect them, or they can turn. None of this is meant to scare you away. It is meant to give you the full picture so you can choose wisely. Used gently, with intention, and with your clinician in the loop, baking soda water can be a useful tool. Used casually or often, it can become a problem you never saw coming. How to use it the right way. Imagine this scene. Evelyn is 72 and still loves to bake. One evening, after a tomato-rich dinner, the familiar burn rises. She remembers a note her mother once tucked into a cookbook. A pinch of baking soda in water for heartburn. She smiles at the memory, heads to the kitchen, and pauses. How much is a pinch? How often is safe? Her mother's wisdom was priceless, but the details matter even more as we get older. Here is the gentle way to do it. If you choose to try baking soda water for occasional heartburn or that rare moment you want a tiny buffer before activity, start small. Half a level teaspoon dissolved completely in a full glass of cool water. Stir until it is fully clear. Sip slowly over 5 to 10 minutes, not all at once. For many people, that is enough for relief. The fizz you feel is carbon dioxide forming as the soda neutralizes acid. A little belching is common. If your stomach feels tight or painful, stop. If you are sensitive, try a quarter teaspoon instead. More is not better. Timing matters. Do not take it right after a heavy meal or when your stomach feels uncomfortably full. That combination can create too much gas and pressure. If you ever have severe belly pain after taking it, especially after a big meal, seek care right away. For heartburn, people often find relief when they take it during a flare, not as a daily habit. For activity like gardening, if you are testing a tiny dose, do it on a quiet day first. Give yourself about 45 to 60 minutes before you move. Notice how your body responds. Any lightheadedness, fluttering in your chest, or unusual swelling in your fingers or ankles means it is not for you. Now a few house rules that keep you safe. If you are over 60, stay well below the maximums printed on most packages. A common label guideline is no more than 3/2 teaspoons in 24 hours for older adults, and never for more than 2 weeks in a row. In truth, most seniors never need anything close to that. One small dose, used rarely, is the spirit of this remedy. If you are on a sodium-restricted diet, on water pills, or you have heart, kidney, or liver problems, talk with your clinician before you try it. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. That sodium is real, and your body will feel it. Some people ask about taste. Cool water helps. You can add a few sips of plain water after to clear the taste. Avoid mixing it with milk or taking it at the same time as calcium supplements. That combination can, over time, put stress on your kidneys. If you take iron pills or certain antifungal medicines that need stomach acid for absorption, spacing matters. Take those medicines at a different time of day from any antacid, including baking soda water. And always listen to your body. Relief should feel simple and calm, not dramatic or jarring. Evelyn's story ends well. She tried a quarter teaspoon, sipped slowly, then sat upright in her favorite chair with a book. 10 minutes later, the burn softened. She slept on her left side with an extra pillow and woke rested. The next morning, she wrote herself a note. Use rarely. Use gently. Use wisely. Medicines, conditions, and the red flags that matter. Now let us talk about the part that can quietly trip people up. Interactions. At 60, 70, or 80, many of us live with a careful balance of medicines and routines that keep us well. Add baking soda water without a plan, and that balance can wobble. Think of Carl. He is 74, a retired bus driver with a big laugh and a tender heart. He takes a water pill for blood pressure and a small dose of medicine for his heart rhythm. After a week of late-night reflux, a friend suggests baking soda water. The first night, relief is instant. By the third night, his socks feel tight by noon, and he notices an odd flutter in his chest when he climbs the porch steps. His daughter insists he call his doctor. The verdict is simple. Too much sodium, too often, paired with a medicine that already shifts salts and fluids. His doctor adjusts his plan, the swelling fades, and Carl learns a lesson he now passes along. Even a simple kitchen remedy deserves the same respect as a prescription. Here are the essentials your doctor wants you to know. Sodium bicarbonate can raise your sodium load, which can push up blood pressure and worsen swelling in your legs or belly. If you have heart failure, kidney disease, or cirrhosis, the risk rises. If you take water pills like thiazides or loop diuretics, your potassium may already run low. Adding bicarbonate can nudge your blood chemistry toward alkalosis, making cramps, weakness, or heart rhythm problems more likely. If you take digoxin, low potassium and alkalosis can make side effects more dangerous. Baking soda can also change how your body handles medicines. The sodium can lower lithium levels by changing how your kidneys handle salts. A higher stomach pH can reduce the absorption of medicines that need acid to work well, like some antifungals and iron. It can also change how your body clears aspirin and some other drugs by shifting urine acidity. None of this means you can never use it. It means your clinician should be in the loop if you plan to. There are warning signs to take seriously. New or worsening swelling in your feet or hands. Sudden weight gain of more than 2 pounds in a day or 5 pounds in a week. Muscle cramps, twitching, or unusual fatigue. A pounding or irregular heartbeat. Confusion, new headaches, or persistent nausea. If you ever vomit blood, pass black tarry stools, or have chest pain with your heartburn, skip home remedies and seek care right away. Those are not typical reflux symptoms. Those are red flags. And here is a less-known risk. Some people take baking soda soon after a large, heavy meal. The acid neutralizes, the reaction makes gas, and the stomach, already stretched, feels tight. Very rarely, too much pressure can cause injury. Protect yourself by avoiding baking soda when you feel overly full. Sit upright. Walk gently. Give your stomach time to move food along. Relief does not have to be risky. Carl now keeps a small card in his wallet. It lists his medicines, his sodium goals, and a note to call his doctor before he tries any new supplement or remedy. He laughs about it when he shows people, but he is proud. He earned that wisdom the hard way. Better long-term solutions for stomach and muscles. Let us step back and breathe for a moment. Baking soda water can be a helpful bridge in the right moment. But bridges are not homes. For lasting comfort, we build routines that keep our stomach calm and our muscles steady in the first place. Meet Lena. She is 69, a retired teacher who reads by lamplight every night. For months she kept a glass by her bed for heartburn. Then her granddaughter, a young nurse, sat with her and they rebuilt Lena's evenings. Dinner moved an hour earlier. Her plate grew simpler at night. Less tomato, less chocolate, fewer spicy meats. She stopped eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. She raised the head of her bed by 6 inches with a wedge, not just an extra pillow. She cut back on late coffee and mint tea, both of which relax the valve at the top of the stomach. She started a gentle walk after dinner on fair weather days. 2 weeks later, her nightstand glass gathered dust. Not because she suffered, but because she finally slept. There are small choices like these that add up. Eat slowly and chew well. Wear looser waistbands in the evening. Keep your weight in a range that feels kind to your joints and your reflux. If you snore loudly or wake often gasping, get screened for sleep apnea. Treating it can calm reflux. If you need long-term medicine for reflux, work with your doctor to find the lowest effective dose, and check now and then whether you still need it. Heartburn can have many causes. A simple breath test can check for a common stomach bacteria that sometimes drives symptoms. If you have difficulty swallowing, unplanned weight loss, or anemia, ask for an evaluation of your esophagus. The right diagnosis matters more than any home fix. Now for tired muscles. Hydration and pacing are quiet magic. Dehydration thickens your blood and makes your heart work harder. Sip water through the day, not just at once. If you take water pills, ask whether you should add foods rich in potassium, like leafy greens, beans, or a small banana. If you have kidney disease, talk with your clinician first. Warm up slowly before you tackle chores. Think intervals. 10 minutes of pruning, 2 minutes of rest and stretch. Use the talk test. If you can speak in full sentences without gasping, your pace is about right. Learn to breathe deeply through your work. Slow exhalations help your body clear carbon dioxide, a partner in acid balance. Fuel matters too. A modest snack with protein and complex carbohydrates before activity can steady your energy. Greek yogurt with berries, a slice of whole grain toast with a smear of peanut butter, or a small handful of nuts with an apple. Some people like beets or beet juice for endurance. If you try it, start small and be mindful if you take blood pressure medicines or blood thinners. And if muscle pain is new and out of proportion, consider other culprits. Certain cholesterol medicines can cause aching. Low thyroid, low vitamin D, and anemia can sap energy. A quick check with your clinician can spare you months of guessing. There is also the myth that lactic acid alone is the villain. What you feel as burn is a chorus of signals. Your muscles working hard, hydrogen ions rising, heat building, and nerves reporting. Lactate itself is often a helper, a fuel your body reuses. That is why training gradually works so well. Your body gets better at clearing what it does not need and using what it does. Baking soda can lend a hand on a day you ask a little more of yourself. Training, sleep, and good food build the deeper strength that carries you every day. Lena kept one more habit. She wrote a small reflection each night. What she ate. How she slept. What soothed her. Patterns appeared and, with them, control. Her life did not shrink to avoid symptoms. It expanded to include the habits that kept them quiet. We have covered a lot together. The what, the why, the helpful uses, and the risks. Now let us turn this into something you can live tomorrow morning. Here is a simple plan you can tailor. For the next 7 days, notice. If heartburn strikes once or twice, and you are otherwise healthy, try the smallest effective dose of baking soda water, prepared gently, sipped slowly, and used only when you truly need it. Write down how much you took, when you took it, what you ate that day, and how you slept. If you have a blood pressure cuff at home, check your pressure the next morning and record it. Step on the scale a few mornings in a row. A sudden jump in weight often means fluid, not food. If you notice swelling or a rise in pressure, stop using baking soda and call your clinician. At the same time, test one long-term habit. Move dinner earlier by 30 to 60 minutes. Raise the head of your bed a few inches. Swap a late-night mint tea for chamomile. Add a short evening stroll. If your legs burn during chores, break tasks into intervals, breathe more slowly through your work, and drink water before and after. Try one change for 3 days. If it helps, keep it. If it does not, try another. There is no single right way. There is only your way. Keep your medical team close. Make a list of your medicines and supplements. At your next visit, ask which ones depend on stomach acid to be absorbed. Ask which ones are sensitive to changes in body salts. Ask whether a small sodium load is safe for you, and if not, what to do instead. That conversation will save you worry and guesswork. If you live with heart failure, chronic kidney disease, liver disease, high blood pressure, or if you are on a strict sodium limit, make that call before you try any baking soda at all. And remember this. You are not fragile. You are wise. The same care you use to raise families, build careers, and weather storms is the care you can bring to your body now. Home remedies can be kind helpers when used with respect. They can also be sneaky thieves when overused. Your job is not to fear them or to worship them. Your job is to understand them, choose with intention, and keep the rest of your life balanced around them. Picture Mr. Davis finishing his yard in one easy arc, not because he chased a magic trick, but because he learned to pace himself and, once in a while, leaned on a tiny buffer with his doctor's blessing. Picture Lena sleeping through the night, not because she silenced her stomach every evening, but because she learned when and how to eat, how to rest, and how to listen. Picture Carl smiling on his porch, his shoes loose, his heart steady, grateful he asked the right questions in time. If you remember only 3 things as we close, let them be these. Use baking soda water rarely and gently, never as a daily crutch. Respect the sodium and the way it touches your heart, your kidneys, and your medicines. Build long-term habits that quiet your symptoms at the roots. You deserve comfort that lasts. You deserve energy that returns. You deserve the calm that comes from knowing what you are doing and why. Take what serves you from this hour, set down what does not, and step forward with confidence. Your body is still your oldest friend. Treat it kindly, and it will carry you farther than you think.